He moves here, tries to get around Creighton, and you see the leg come out, the knee come out, and catch David Shaw. You wonder about the knee immediately. You see Creighton's big long legs, and as he sticks out the leg, he catches Shaw leg on leg.
They dropped off.
Islanders were 1 for 5. They scored that power play goal on their first power play yesterday.
Clear. Roenick moves in. Another shot. Save maybe for rebound score. Steve Larmer. He went down to Binghamton for a couple of weeks of conditioning, where he played several games in Binghamton, but has not played since his recall February 20th.
Well,
Rangers want a penalty. Oh, man.
Paul Gillis. Now, Gillis skated right up to the linesman Sticko and asked him what happened. Gillis just ran right into Lindy Ruff and popped him up high. Gillis is a guy, Sam, that's an agitator, and he hits from behind a lot, can't fight a lick. And basically, Turtles, whenever he gets involved here, he's actually standing up and fighting for himself. The Hawks got him to be an agitator, and watch out, Adam Oates, because he's going to agitate you a lot the rest of the season in the playoffs. Peluso is with somebody, and that could be a secondary fight if that does develop, but it doesn't look like it will.
Yeah, that's Broughton and Peluso. Jansen's went after Gillis.
When it happened, and Lindy Ruff dropped down and grabbed his face immediately, the referee, Paul Stewart, skated right over to Leon Sticko, who was in front of the altercation or the incident. Well, here's the play. Watch Gillis move up. Oh, and catches Ruff with a stick in the face, expecting the hit. That should be a major penalty, Sam. It's cut and dried. It's in the rules.
21 years old, and has risen to become a star. Good hit by Roenick as he sent Moeller flying.
Oh, here we go. Roenick and
Jansen's.
And this should be a third man as Goulet jumped in, Sam. And here we go now. The waltz has begun.
Wow.
It started with a great hit by Roenick, and then Jansen's nailed Roenick. It was Roenick on Moeller, and then Jansen's on Roenick, and Roenick went back at Jansen's for the hit, tried to put the elbow into Jansen's. Now, there was an altercation started here. Jansen's and Roenick had an altercation going, and I believe it was Goulet that jumped in as a third man, and it'll be very interesting to see if Paul Stewart gives a game misconduct to break up that line. Here you see the original hit, a good one by Roenick. Now Jansen's comes into Roenick, hits him from the side. Now they all get after one another. You see Roenick go right back. See the elbow up in the face, the glove into the face of Jansen's, and they start. Now that's an altercation.
Rochefort got a stick on the puck and pushes it to Brian Leach. Out for Jan Eriksson. And he's run into hard by Conroy. Big hit. Creighton checked by Leach. Thomas against Rochefort. Rochefort staying with him. Thomas wrapped up by Rochefort, who's holding on a little bit and got away with it. Larmer centers in front. Creighton shot it wide. Boy, Stewart's missed a lot tonight, John.
That's what he said.
He's missed a lot, I'm telling you. Just what I see out there. They're battling along the boards. Kept in by Chelios. His pass deflected by King, comes to Larmer. Save it, Beesbrook, rebound, another save. He robs Steve Thomas dead on. Shot by Manson, save Van Beesbrook. Three beauties. Here's Chelios, another save. Thomas to the corner. Thomas sets up Larmer, and he shot it wide. Gartner comes out. Gartner moves in. The cheers for the fine play of the Hawks, but Van Beesbrook has been equal to the pass. Creighton sets up Larmer. Up save Van Beesbrook. A beauty.
And here we go. Everybody but the goaltender's involved. Van Beesbrook, Sam, with fabulous saves. I believe Chris King is the man that's in behind. And the Ranger players, Chris King with a tougher shift. There he is, as he's surrounded, having words now with Steve Thomas. Van Beesbrook robbed Larmer. Just robbed Larmer. Earlier he robbed Thomas. What a shift by this line. Larmer, Thomas, Creighton. What a great shift they had.
And rather by Thomas, and the period comes to an end.
Oh, look at this. Oh, boy.
Kosar and Belfour.
Sam, it started back in front of Belfour, and Belfour gave Kosar a shot as they skated towards one another. Then Kosar waved a stick at him above his head, sort of taunting him as if I'm going to smack you, and then the players got together. When the whistle sounded, Kocur went back towards Belfour. Belfour came right out, reached up with his arms and gave Kocur a shot. Kocur, with his stick in his hands, waved his stick over the top of the head, helicopter motion over the top of the head of Belfour. Belfour's already in hot water with the league for going into the referee's room after their last game here against Montreal, and he has a hearing on Tuesday here in Chicago, and he may be suspended.
Ryan O'Neill will visit him. He was upset with Dan Marawelli and went into the referee's room. Joey Kocur being escorted toward the stairway leading to the Rangers locker room, and more penalties will be called. And we've got a long night ahead of us. It was a long first period. The Blackhawks scoring early. A power play goal by Steve Larmer at 4:04. Now in deep to Wayne Presley. Tried to center, blocked by Turcotte. Presley trying to get out in front. Turcotte stayed with him. Now here comes Greg Gilbert. Sets up Wayne Presley, who tips it in. Around past Roenick to Larmer. Larmer waits. Gets it to Goulet. Back to Larmer. Larmer looking. Goulet sent upside of the net. Sneaking in across ice with Wilson. Here's Goulet for Wilson. They score! Gillis fires it around the boards. Rangers have Kissio, Ogrodnik, and Mullen. Manson with a hit on Mullen. Ogrodnik unable to get out of the zone as he was stood up by Gillis. Mullen sent flying and a penalty called. Manson will go. Manson with an extra shot on Mullen. And Manson going after Mullen.
Ooh, that was close. Mullen faked Manson, and Manson faked back at Mullen and just missed him. Started earlier in the Rangers zone when Brian Mullen stood up to Manson. Manson took the penalty. Here's Mullen trying to get to the puck, and he's pulled down by Manson. And they meet. Watch Mullen fake and Manson fake. Fake, boom, boom.
But Mullen did get him with the stick across the arm, John. He swiped at him with the stick. We have just gotten word from the Rangers. This is more bad news.
Oh, this is real bad.
The incident with Eddie Belfour was the 5th stick-related game misconduct incident involving Joe Kocur, which calls for an automatic 3-game suspension and a review by the league. Keith Brown moves the puck ahead for Roenick. It bounces down to Leach. Leach tied up, knocked away by Roenick. Moeller has it. Wrist shot. Score! John Roy carries it across, drops it off to Goulet. Blocked in front by Rochefort. Here comes Chris King. Bob McGill going over to catch up. King moves in front. King shoots. He scores!
Oh, Sam, what a play. Here we have Broughton moving into the offensive zone as Manson meets him and knocks him off balance. Good hit. Good hit by Dave Manson.
There's a lead coming down. King getting to the puck. Hit by Roenick. John, if I'm not mistaken, here's a wraparound by King and a save by Belfour. And Chelios and Jansen square off. King was knocked down by Manson.
Here we go.
Here they go.
Manson's waited. Manson waited. Oh, we got 2 fights going. One linesman with each fight. Manson and King. King's on top of Manson as one linesman tries to break that up. Now we have 4 players on the other side of the ice. And then the linesman there. Chris King with a wraparound try. Manson knocked him down. And the Rangers, to me here, standing up for the right, Sam, fighting back. King was knocked down. Manson waited for him to get up. Then they got after one another.
Manson wants to get involved in the other fracas.
Chelios with Mark Jansen. Jansen's is being grabbed from behind. And Goulet without the jersey on.
Jansen's wants to.
Now Paul Stewart's jumped in. The referee's jumped in to break it up.
He's really got to help out.
I agree. The original 2 combatants are now in the penalty box. Chris King and Manson. Boy, it's a tough game when you play hockey here in the smaller ice surface of the Chicago Stadium. See Chris King here, and he'll get hit by Roenick, but he fights off the check and makes a good play with the wraparound. Now watch Dave Manson move around, and now he'll make Chris King pay with a good hit, and Roenick with a good hit too. Now King is now down, and you see Manson waiting, and they got up and got after one another. There it is, the long walk down. It's actually a longer walk up.
Yeah, right.
Those steps.
It is steep. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Gartner roughed up. Whoa, as he wrestled down by Graham right in front of Paul Stewart. In the second period, still not sure why Jansen's went to the locker room if he only got 4 minutes, unless he got a misconduct. They didn't announce it. Creighton is in, slides it in front, they score. Steve Thomas. A baby in each arm. Jansen's stick got up. Jansen's has come back from the locker room. So maybe he just went for equipment adjustment. Deflection is a save by Van Beesbroek. A lot of holding going on in front. Rochefort in the middle of a battle as he's holding Steve Thomas. Wrestled him down. No, it's Larmer. Here's a chance in front. Save Van Beesbroek off Creighton. A hit by McGill, and play comes to an end. The end of the period. Larmer and Van Beesbroek square off. And here we go. Rotten punching at Bob McGill.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
This has been one ugly game.
There was all kinds of holding, grabbing. Rochefort was down on top of a player. Whoever it was had a hold of Rochefort's stick. And Paul Stewart, who used to be in the middle of a lot of these things.
4-2 Chicago with 18:15 remaining in the third period. Moeller able to slide it out of the zone. Jansen's lost his stick. Moeller moves across. And behind the play, King throwing punches at Steve Thomas.
King landed, or seemed to land, a couple of lefts, Sam. Thomas is a tough guy, as is Chris King. All three men in stripes were back there trying to break it up. And they now get ushered towards the penalty box.
Thomas
He took a couple of shots. I mean, left hands from Chris King. Manson now up in the penalty box having words towards Chris King. And it looks like there's a nose problem with Steve Thomas. Here's Van Beesbroek moving out. Is King and Thomas right there. Push and shove, push and shove. And then they decide to get at one another. And as the linesman jumped in, Chris King landed two heavy lefts. And I think it looks like the fractured nose for Steve Thomas.
King 2 for roughing. Thomas 2 for high sticking at 1:53.
King landed two lefts, and they were great lefts, and you could see because Thomas had to leave the game to have his nose repaired, and they get 2 minutes apiece.
Well, that's the call. Bounced off of Leach, and Gartner has it back. Moving in against Manson. Around him, he looks toward the net, trying to slide it in front. Now it's blocked, taken away by Chelios. Chelios sent flying by King. King looking to score, and a save made by Belfour. And King is knocked down from behind by Dirk Graham, and he'll go. And Hardy will go.
Mark Hardy just evened things up, Sam. The Hawks were to be short-handed. Chris King has been the Rangers' best forward in my mind. Now Chelios
King
wants
and
to go.
Chelios. Beluso wants to get in there. Manson wants to get in there. Watch out. Watch out.
Hawks have some tough players on the ice right now.
And
it was to be a Rangers power play, and then Mark Hardy pushed down Graham to even things up. Chris King fought off a check by Chelios behind Belfour, knocking Chelios down to the ice, and then Chris King had the scoring chance. Belfour robbed him. I mean, a great save with 4:34 remaining. And then the penalties started to accumulate here. Because when Paul Stewart is getting into his mode of what he's going to call, I really shouldn't even take some guesses because I'm not sure what would be called, but there was going to be a power play because of Dirk Graham. Here's in behind the net. There'll be a collision here as King and Chelios. And Chelios goes down. King goes to the front of the net and gets himself a real good scoring chance there. Belfour with a good save. Now King gets up. Now watch him behind. There's Graham. That wasn't a very hard hit, but it did knock him down. And then Mark Hardy knocked Graham down. So that's what started all the pushing and shoving.
getting a couple of goals from Johan Garpenlaw. Paul Eisbart scored again. Had a couple of assists. Steve Yzerman had a goal.
Well, it's hard to believe. That's just the 6th win on the road by Detroit this season.
Goulet scores! Oh, man! For the Blackhawks, that is win number 42 on the season. They're #1 overall. We'll be right back.